intense. The world seems to be going a little bit mad. While predictions come into fruition one after another. What predictions will soon be fulfilled as well as those that just were fulfilled? Spirit gives me this strong feeling that a slight shift in our poles is currently occurring or just occurred. What exactly does this mean? What huge events are potentially amongst us? Scientists are in a frenzy right now because the sun is as this is going to hit the earth soon. Indonesia on Monday, this past Monday, not a tsunami, but warnings. And this just occurred again in Indonesia as they were hit with another earthquake. I think this time it was 7.0, and along with tsunami warnings and tsunami sirens. So who is next to feel the earth shake beneath their feet? We're going to cover that today. In the past, Spirit told us folks would start passing away at alarming rates. If you recall, Spirit said large die-offs of people, and that we would soon see celebrities and members of the elite passing away. And already in 2023, we have lost Carol Cook, Jeff Beck, Robbie Bachman, Lisa Marie Presley, and several others. Who's going to be next? Will it be Celine Dion? Perhaps Priscilla Presley? We're going to talk about that today as well. Lastly, I warned of a new drug that would hit the streets, and now what they're calling the zombie drug is hitting the streets of the United States. What is it exactly? Today, I'm going to cover some celebrity deaths and predictions, more on the weather because the weather is insane, some information about the Middle East, the United Kingdom, the airlines and all the incidents and accidents related to airplanes, the upcoming new moon cycle, and so much more. So I welcome you all back to my channel. I welcome you to my channel. If you are new here, my name is Joseph Tittel, and I welcome you with infinite love and gratitude. If you want truth, predictions, prophecy, and things like that, you're going to want to join this tribe. Smash that there, subscribe. Also, smash that like button somewhere along the line. Show those algorithms that you want this stuff on your feed. Hitting the other button makes no sense at all. Doesn't do anything but actually the opposite. Make sure stuff like this don't show up on your feed. I wasn't here yesterday because I was having internet connection issues because we were getting snowstorms and all kinds of squalls and not much fun. I'm tired of shoveling. So I decided to just postpone it till tonight when the skies are more clear and we have a better option and opportunity. Even though today is the last day of the Mercury retrograde direct. We're not out of the woods yet, folks. We will be soon, but we're not out of the woods yet. I thank all of my supporters because I would not be here presenting this information for all of you free on YouTube if it wasn't for those who are the big supporters that helped us make this possible. I am forever gratefully indeed and in gratitude to all of you. So it is January 18th. And we are only days away from finally exiting the first energy shift of 2023, along with us now exiting the Mercury retrograde direct, while entering the post-shadow of the Mercury retrograde until February 8th. So we're almost out of the woods. We've already seen so much truth revealed, along with crazy weather patterns, earthquakes as predicted, and we're only 2.5 weeks through 2023. With another 49.5 weeks to go. The intense energy has affected our sleep patterns, brought with it sluggish energy, feelings of being lazy, desires to take naps, and crazy yet powerful dreams. Does this sound about familiar to you all? Does that sound about right? Has your dreams been really crazy lately? Have you been feeling a little sluggish? Well, that energy is about to pick up because we are heading towards our first new moon cycle of 2023 and our super new moon cycle that starts on the 21st of January at 1:53 p.m. Mountain Time, 3:53 p.m. Eastern Time. Did I do that right? Yeah. And an exciting cycle this shall be, this new moon cycle coming up, being it will be the first new moon of 2023, which makes this new moon extra special for all of us. It is a great time to set new goals and to work with the waxing moon energy that starts on the 21st to manifest your dreams and your desires for 2023 and beyond. So it's exciting times coming up upon us, as we're already in exciting times. Utilize this incoming energy this weekend to help boost your energy and boost your projects. Ride that energy wave so that it helps you to accomplish so much more than you normally would. The new moon will be an energy booster and will also give a boost to Mother Earth's energy as well. Like every energy shift, as we begin to exit this cycle, it's going to affect absolutely everything around us: the weather, people's attitudes, people's emotions, the sun's activity, as we see with the sun flares, and of course, Mother Earth herself. With the activity that I predicted in the past hitting Indonesia for the second time, it is obvious that our Mother Earth is still stretching and shifting around, and Spirit tells me you haven't really seen anything quite yet. So much worse will come from the Earth's shifting patterns as the year progresses and as the years progress. California was pounded by severe floods, also as predicted. And Spirit says there is more to come for the West Coast before they go into a summer drought season, which is kind of interesting. But Spirit showed me California going into severe droughts again. But you would think all this rain that they just got would help them out of that drought. What are they doing with the rainwater, friends? What are they doing with the rainwater? Here in Arizona, record amounts of snow covered Flagstaff, Arizona, and other parts of the state, while the East Coast hasn't really experienced much of anything, much snow at all, except for upstate New York in that one storm. Spirit wanted to remind us all today that we're still only in January, the middle of January, and huge storms are still yet to hit the East Coast in the upcoming weeks, including ice storms that leave folks in the dark for several days. As I said last year, it's coming. We're only early, not even at the halfway point of winter, I don't think yet, or almost at the halfway point. No, not even at the halfway point. Remember Spirit's warning of rare winter tornadoes? Well, folks in Iowa totally witnessed that last week, a week and a half ago. That prediction they witnessed coming into fruition reality. Spirit warns again that we are going to see rare winter tornadoes. And this will not be restricted to folks in the United States either. It will be globally. This would include areas of Europe where things have been somewhat quiet as well in the way of weather. Back to the upcoming moon cycle, the new moon on the 21st this weekend shall bring again a boost to our energies as this heavy, lazy energy finally begins to lift away. Finally, this will still have a heavy effect on our dream states. So pay attention to your dreams, write them down. Your dreams are trying to tell you something. And receiving signs from loved ones and ancestors through our dreams, and other messengers that visit us when we're in that dream state. So pay very close attention to all that, my friends. So make a plan, write down your goals, start new adventures, and take great advantage of this first super moon cycle of 2023 because, my friends, it is a powerful one. And again, if you just tuned in, I welcome you to my channel and back to my channel. Don't forget to be a part of this tribe with predictions, prophecy, and truth. You got to smash that subscribe. Click that like button. It helps you and helps the algorithms to help you. Also, don't forget to check out my other prediction videos for 2023, especially if you're new here. On New Year's Eve, I put out a top 10 predictions for 2023. And then on New Year's Day, my annual New Year's Day world predictions, which is different than the top 10. So you're going to want to check them both out. And just this past Monday, I put out weather predictions, the first weather prediction video of 2023. There's much more to come. That's why you want to be in this tribe and smash that there subscribe, friends. So weather, yeah. So let's talk a little bit, and let me open up this link. Actually, I'm on the wrong page here. Where'd it go? This happens to be episode number 49 of normally Tuesday's Tittle Tea Time predictions updates, but we're going to do Wacky Wednesday instead because of internet issues. So that's the thing. If there's storms here, and because I have Starlink, and there's storms here, it's better that I postpone till Wednesday when that occurs. so that the skies are more clear and we don't have breakups like we did in the video on Monday. So if you get to the video on Monday with weather predictions and you see the breakup, don't go nowhere. I come back into tune on that episode. So where is my celebrity deaths? There they are. So celebrity deaths so far this year, there's already been a lot. And you remember New Year's Day, Spirit told us that there was going to be like an unprecedented amount of celebrities and legends and elite members passing away in 2023. A record amount, and again, a lot of legends and such. So far we had, of course, Lisa Marie Presley that passed away, sadly. CJ Harris, who was from American Idol. Al Brown, who was a actor, I believe. Carol Cook, another well-known actress from 16 Candles. Jeff Beck, a famous guitarist. If you don't know Jeff Beck, I don't know you. Tatiana Patitz. I don't know who she is. Sounds kind of snooty to me. Oh, yeah. So she's part of the fashion world, of course. Ben Masters, Adam Rich. Some of these people I don't know. Bernard Kalb, Fred White, Chris Ledesma. Don't know who that is. Gangsta Boo, yo, Gangsta Boo. James Corley, who was in, what was he in? Ken Block. And that's just a few that I wanted to bring to your attention. Just a few. But there's more to come, as you can imagine. A lot more to come. So Spirit, wait, let me go back. There we go. Spirit shows me that soon we will also begin to see political figures passing away, both those from the past and those in the present, like past, like say Jimmy Carter, for example, passing away in 2023. That would be past political, but current political. Spirit showed me folks in the parliament and the United States Senate passing away. And it will soon become more and more obvious as to what potentially is the actual lead to all these many deaths that are going to occur. And Spirit showed me a new cover-up and a new ban, of course, on your speech when people start to catch on to all these people passing away and celebrities passing away, because it will be to a point where you're going to have to look at it and be like, this is not normal. This is very strange. Spirit assures us that their plan to cover up things will completely 100% fail. Keep in mind that most likely the higher percentage of these politicians and former politicians, elite and celebrities will be, look like it's due to their age. At least it'll look that way, or they'll want it to appear that way, of course. But Spirit reminds us of the large amount of older folks, if you remember, that passed away back in 2020 and 2021. It was seemed as if older folks were targeted individuals of some sort. But what do you believe? That's what I want to know. What do you believe? What are your comments? Please do leave your comments down below. Back to, I see a death that is somehow connected to the Kardashians. Yep. And I saw a vision of Kim K herself dressed for what looked like a funeral. And she was looking really like a widow of sorts in this. But that, again, it's all about the look. Remember, they are the Kardashians. They can, it's all about the look and getting more likes and more clicks and more money. Because I feel like she's looking like a widow, but she really isn't feeling like one. So could this be Kanye West? Even though they're not married now, right? They're divorced or broken up. Or more likely, could it be Caitlyn Jenner, who happens actually to be in her 9 personal year of endings in numerology. Lots of times people pass in that 9 year. Not always, but lots of times. I know lots of people on a personal level that passed in their 9 year. And Caitlyn Jenner popped in my mind when I saw the visions of Kim K. A couple of people. Kanye was the first one, but that would just be the first thing anybody would think, right? Especially being he's just such a hot mess. And I did say in a past show that I wouldn't doubt that they'd try to kill him and knock him off and make it look like an accident. I wouldn't doubt the Kardashians themselves do that to him. But or more likely, again, I think out of all the numbers and all, it would look more likely like Caitlyn Jenner because Caitlyn is in the 9 year. And my feeling was that this could be a result, whatever this death is, or to Caitlyn Jenner or both, to drugs and or suicide, in which, of course, they will try to cover up. But TMZ will bring the truth forward. So that'll be an interesting story to say. So again, I'm going to repeat that because it just sounded so good. So whether it's Kanye West, Caitlyn Jenner, or someone else, because I have another one in mind too, her brother Rob Kardashian, who also happens to be in his 9 personal year in numerology of endings and death of cycles. And again, Spirit says this Kardashian death and funeral felt to me as a result of drugs and or suicide both. Felt like that person had toxins in their body and that they, of course, would try to cover up the truth of what happened to this family member. But TMZ will actually release the truth. That's a good one. I'm not clear again as to who it is exactly. These were the thoughts and feelings I had when I had those visions today of that. And I hope to receive more information from Spirit in the near future. Remember, I'm usually here every Tuesday. Today's Wednesday. It's a little odd, but usually every Tuesday with updates and more information and more clarity on predictions. Remember, I said earlier last year that we would see billionaires and millionaire elite members beginning to drop dead, and some that would just suddenly disappear without a trace. Well, that has and likely is continuing to occur to be the case over there in China and Russia both. We've seen all these elite dying off. But soon Spirit told me today that we will see this occurring in other places. Seems like they're knocking off the elite that are connected to the incident that's happening there. And in China, they're just, who knows why they're killing them off. They are. Lots of elite and famous people in China are dropping dead like flies. Again, Spirit assured me that this will be the case in many other places, including the United States. And when some elite pass away, along with thousands of others that we don't hear about, that pass away in relation to a combination of heart and stroke conditions, something to keep an eye out for. I do see an executive of one of these elite actually passing away when their private jet goes down. Thank you, Kathleen, for your chat cash, your love and support with infinite love and gratitude. Couldn't do it without that. I appreciate it. So yeah, I do see an executive losing their lives when their private jet goes down, which I said, I think, on January 1st predictions. But, a lot of people may not know. You know that I love Stevie Nicks, and I can say that she told me she loved me, and shook my hand. But I also have been, since I was a teenager, a Leadhead, total fan of Led Zeppelin like never before. And that came to my mind today. Both Led Zeppelin legends, Robert Plant and Jimmy Page, came to my mind today, which makes me feel there's a battle for both of them when it comes to their health. And that battle is upon both of them. Jimmy Page will have more issues than Robert Plant, was the feeling. And a strong part of me feels that the legendary Led Zeppelin will die off between this year and even more so in 2024. Their passing may be very close together in timing. So again, it felt like it's starting this year, but more likely that Legend's dying off next year. Not that Led Zeppelin will never die. Like, it's kind of like Elvis. It ain't happening. Although I still feel I got more to tell you about Elvis in a minute. But that's what I got about Robert Plant and Jimmy Page. Jimmy Page's grandfather was Aleister Crowley, and he lives in Aleister Crowley's mansion. And they did a seance in that mansion where they channeled these words for Stairway to Heaven. Yeah, that's a story a lot of people don't know. Celine Dion, as I spoke about in the past, is suffering from major health issues. Rare ones, if that. Celine has a strong overburdened feelings going on as 2023 starts off and just started off. She's got these very strong overburdened feelings. She is experiencing high levels of anxiety, is what Spirit showed me, that sadly is only going to worsen as the year progresses. I also see Celine Dion having some type of legal issues And I felt a need, like if I had her phone number, I'd be calling her of a bad business partner, a bad money or something again. I felt like so that just stresses her and her health out even more. And it might even be from within her own family, like for example, her own kid or something. That's what Spirit just now told me. That's not in my notes, but Spirit just said that. Overall, sadly, I feel Celine Dion will pass away at a young age. She's only like 52, I think, 53, 54, no older than that. And the end result of her life will be a combination of many issues, but mainly, again, back to heart or blood clots that cause stroke or pulmonary embolism. And of course, they're not going to tell us everything and exactly how it goes. But if Celine Dion can hold on until the end of 2023, 2024, exactly, actually, if she can make it past the end of 2024, then she'll make it to 60 and into her 60s. But it is likely that Celine Dion will pass away sometime this year, sadly. Dolly Parton came to my mind. Yeah, Dolly Parton also came to my mind, and she is a strong woman indeed. We can't argue that. But her strength will be tested in 2023. Big endings are coming for Dolly Parton. I don't know what the endings are. I didn't necessarily feel like she was passing away. I mean, it's very possible because I think she might be in her 9 as well. I think, I'm not sure, but I think she is in her 9. And that would make sense, the big endings for Dolly Parton. And that could be many endings. It could be her finally saying, I'm retiring for real. I doubt it because that's what keeps her going. But something, big endings coming for her. I know she just released something with cake mix, I think like one of those, I forget the name of the company, which just, toxic food, by the way, toxic food, putting her face on toxic food. This brings me to Priscilla Presley. The very sad loss of her daughter and Elvis's daughter, Lisa Marie Presley. Excuse me. Oddly, excuse me. Oddly, Lisa passed away in the beginning of her 1 year. And thank you, who just put that chat cash through 1111, Katrina. Thank you, darling. Thank you, thank you, thank you. So oddly, Lisa Marie Presley passed away in the beginning of her 1 year, the very beginning of the cycle, which is interesting. I mean, that's also could be that she's strong-willed and defied her exit point of her soul contracts. And then, the Grim Reaper came for her at the end because she was holding on, holding on, and holding on. Just I found that to be kind of odd. But Priscilla happens to be in her 9 year. There we go back to those number 9s again, which is all about endings and death of cycles. So her having a huge loss of her daughter makes a lot of sense to her being in her 9 year. Her grandson's suicide already put too much stress on her, and now Lisa Marie's passing. But now the loss of her daughter is going to completely destroy Priscilla's health. It is likely that Priscilla Presley could very likely die in 2023, and that death would be from being heartbroken. More than anything, she's holding everything together, and she's holding it together at its seams. Spirit shows me the Elvis empire busting at the seams since Lisa Marie passed. So I don't know what role Lisa Marie played in all that. I'm sure it was a big role because I know Lisa Marie's worth $330 million and Priscilla's worth $150 million. So her daughter's worth double. Even though, I mean, Elvis did leave everything to his daughter. She wasn't old enough, but going back to Elvis, Spirit gave me a feeling that the Elvis legacy is slowly coming to a close. And I don't know exactly what that means because it'll never die. The king will always be around. But it felt like something about that legacy is about to close. So Graceland, it will eventually be taken over or sold to the state of Tennessee. No one will be able to run the Elvis empire like the two of them did. And the time is closing in on the collapse of this little empire, big empire, really. Years ago, I felt, and many of you, you've been following me long enough, that Elvis has always been alive. I was a kid when that happened. I told my mom when that happened. She got mad at me, but I was like, he's still alive. Remember in the past, would find out the truth because again, his gravestone is still to this day spelt wrong. Come on, between the two of them, they're worth $500 million. They can't fix Elvis's gravestone that's spelled wrong. Elvis was superstitious, very superstitious. So if he faked his death, he wouldn't want his real name necessarily spelled correctly on his casket. So just something to think about. Wouldn't it be wild if Elvis showed up at the funeral and stood out and broke the silence? That would be legendary. That would be awesome. But I doubt it. I doubt that would happen, but it would be pretty damn cool, wouldn't it? Moving on to some other celebrities. Bette Midler. I used to like her. She makes me want to vomit now. Same with Cher. She's another one. Both of them came to my mind for different reasons today. I feel we will be hearing, and seeing a lot more about them in 2023. Bette Midler is likely to dig a hole for herself as she says something that offends people through a tweet or through one of her ignorant statements. That seems the same goes for Cher as well, but on a different level. One of them, if not both of them, because they both came to me at the same time, which was really interesting. Maybe they're doing something together too, probably, because they both came to mind at the same time. So maybe they're doing something together and both of them are offending somebody. But I do feel that one of them is going to make a visit to the hospital, which is likely Cher, which could be related to the 2020 bug. Cher will have the biggest battle with her health in 2023 between the two of them, and issues that will cause her to cancel plans and cancel appearances. I didn't know she made appearances, but she's going to be canceling something, that Cher, which takes me on to Mr. Elton John, which I've said before about Elton John. But Elton John came to me because he should be very aware of his health, but not only his health, Spirit said his own karma as well. I don't know exactly what that means, but that's what Spirit said. Later in the year, Elton John is going to battle rumors. True rumors, Spirit said, they will be true, but they're going to try to prove them to be false, of course. They're going to denial. He sounds like he's on that one side of politics, doesn't he? Denial. This is going to affect his already concerned health issues. So apparently, again, Spirit says he's already got a current health issue. I don't know what it is. I don't know if you all know what it is. Maybe put it in the comments down below. But chances are that he's also going to, I just got this now, he's also going to cancel appearances and plans, like, canceling plans and appearances. That just came to me, so that's interesting. But Elton John, as I said in the recent past, will pass away. I'm set on 2024, not 2023, but 2024. 2023, we'll start to see the decreasing in his energy and everything else. It could be sooner. Elton John will pass away maybe in 2023, but I'm thinking more likely 2024, but 2024 or sooner. Let's put it that way. Elton John will pass away in 2024 or sooner. He will have problems canceling events and canceling appearances. Spirit shows me a vision today of him being honored on stage. Like he's being honored for something big. It felt really big to me. And Spirit said when he is honored in this big way, he'll pass away soon after. It almost felt to me like, getting an Oscar, going home and dying. It almost literally felt like that. So it's interesting. Eddie Murphy came to mind. And I got nothing but Eddie Murphy. And it made me laugh because he's freaking hysterical. Gotta love Eddie Murphy. He kind of almost disappeared out of the scene. I mean, I don't blame him because the whole Hollywood thing. But he came to mind. And I have in my notes, Eddie Murphy ? I have nothing else other than that. I'm drinking coffee today. Usually I drink tea. And for those who, I have so much tea, friends, I have too much tea. Way too much tea, my friends. If you're going to send me tea, the only tea that I drink the most of is jasmine green tea and then Yogi brand tea, the sweet tangerine energy. Is that what it's called? Sweet tangerine something energy. I drew a blank. But that's what I drink. Today it's coffee. I just had a mood for coffee the past couple of days. Let's talk about weather and shifts because it's a big deal. It's a real big deal. First, Spirit warned folks in California, and I had visions of helicopter rescues, if you remember, and Spirit continued to warn California and warn us that California was going to be pounded by storms and floods. Now, after many deaths, landslides, and floods, and yes, a rescue of 5 people by helicopter when the San Fran River flooded. So that all came into fruition. But Spirit told us there would be rare winter tornadoes like the one that hit in Iowa. And Spirit says soon others will see this as well. Winter tornadoes up in the Dakotas, North and South Dakota, and of course, southeast of the United States needs to be prepared for late winter tornadoes, bad ones. So I would say like March, April. Of course, I'll get more information, or maybe the end of February into March. I'm not sure. I'll get more information. That's why I come out and hang out every week. Really important. But yeah, winter tornadoes in California. I lost my article again. Darn. Well, while I'm looking for this, I really hope you're all having a lovely day today. I can't find it. Where'd it go? That's me on Zoom. Oh, sugar me timbers. Too much crap open, that's why. Too much. Now I can't find it. There it is. Lordy. What happens when you hit 40? Open link. There we go. Sorry about that, my friends. Let's go back. Of course, now I don't want to open. Historic rainfall soaked San Francisco. Second wettest day since the gold rush. That's why I saved this article. The forecast proved to be prophetic. It sure did. Spirit said it was going to happen. Category 4 atmospheric river would bring, I need glasses, copious amounts of rain in San Francisco Bay Area. But no one was really ready for just how much would fall. If they listened here, they would be ready. They would have known. So they said this makes it the second wettest day in 170 plus years of record taking. That's kind of interesting. And again, Spirit says they're going to go into drought again come this winter. It's kind of interesting, right? Remember? Oh, my camera went blurry. Hold on. There we go. I don't know why that does that. Let me go back to where I was. California. So the area beneath Indonesia, let's go back over to Indonesia because I got this strong pull to that area once again as I was doing my weather prediction video that I did on Monday. And I stated in Monday that the area beneath Indonesia was extremely unstable, is what Spirit said. And if you missed my 2023 weather predictions, be sure to check them out. In a past Tuesday show, maybe a week, 2 weeks, I forget, I lose track of time. I did warn Indonesia that they would be hit, and a day later they were hit. I warned that entire area of the globe in my 2023 weather predictions from the Philippines over to Indonesia, or Philippines, Indonesia, and then up to Thailand. That little triangle area of both earthquakes and the sound of tsunami warnings. This did, again, just occur within the past 24 hours, but Spirit pulls me back to this area again of the globe, along with an area between New Zealand, Australia, Mike, and Papua New Guinea. And I'm pretty sure I covered that in 2023 video, but again, Spirit pulled me that today. I had to map up and I get pulled to certain things. I got pulled to that same triangle. So we got 2 triangles. And I think I said something not that long ago about the Bermuda Triangle too. That just popped in my mind. Not that it's related to this, but I do remember saying something about Bermuda Triangle. But we're talking about, and it makes me think of that. So it's kind of like spooky things happening in these 2 triangles. The one between Philippines, Thailand, and Indonesia, and now the other one between New Zealand, Australia, and Papua New Guinea. I feel that we are on the edge, my friends, on the edge of a huge Earth disaster that will align with, past predictions and what I discussed in my 2023 prediction. So again, if you want to know weather, go back to that video. And if not within the next few weeks, that we're going to have this huge Earth disaster. If not within the next few weeks, definitely in 2023. And those 2 areas were areas I got pulled too strong, especially the Indonesia area. excuse me, I am once again pulled to the triangle between Alaska, Hawaii, and Japan as well. The entire area of the Pacific along the same area where the 2011 earthquake hit and brought about the March 11th, 2011 tsunami that hit Japan. That whole area comes to me again. If you remember, I said that last year, and then Japan, they had that earthquake in the same exact spot. But that came to me again today. That area and the areas of the Pacific, both this triangle, so we got to draw a triangle between the three, between Hawaii, Japan, and Alaska. That whole center part of that, extremely active, especially where the 2011 earthquake hit outside of Japan. Both this triangle area, along with my other two triangles that I just mentioned near Thailand and Indonesia, are extremely unstable. And something very large is brewing in these areas or beneath these areas of the earth. This very well likely could be one of these three areas, would be the areas where it would bring about a tsunami, a big tsunami. I had a vision also of a really horrific scene of a city that literally looked like it was ravished by war, but it was not war amongst humans that brought this devastation. It was actually a strike from Mother Earth herself against humanity. I saw large, huge rescue teams and even helicopters pulling people from the debris, and folks standing on these high, unstable structures, waving their hands, in buildings, waving their hands at rescue teams. I wasn't clear exactly where this is, not yet anyway, but this would be a result to me of a great magnitude earthquake and an attack again from Mother Earth herself striking at humanity. Something that we're actually, Spirit said, this is something that you're going to become very accustomed to in the next few years. Devastating quakes like that make cities look like war zones. So I hope I get more information where this would occur so that we can warn them. I wasn't sure where the city was. It was so much in rubble that I wouldn't even, if it was New York, I wouldn't know. I mean, it looked that bad in my vision. And I'm sure it's related probably to what I channeled through. Remember, I do channel all this information from Spirit, all pretty much the same. Sometimes I jump to something else, but always come back to it. And all this was channeled at the same thing today and yesterday. I keep thinking today's Tuesday still. It's Wednesday. It's Wacky Wednesday. So Japan, our friends in Japan, has been jumping out at me, Japan, all week. And this makes me feel that Japan will soon have their hands full. And not just from Earth or weather events, but in general, I just feel like a lot's coming to Japan. I'll have more about this and more about Japan and other countries on Monday. So again, smash that subscribe button, friends. Set your reminders. Monday, 6 o'clock, approximately Mountain Time, 8 p.m. Eastern Time. I will be doing my country-to-country world predictions for 2023. And save your comments. I can only do countries that Spirit gives me. I can't just tap into wherever. There are way too many countries to cover the entire globe. But I'll cover what Spirit feels is the most important. So keep an eye out for that. Do you know what a rogue wave is? I had no idea. But a rogue wave is what Spirit showed me. And it causes a ship to flip sideways. A rogue wave is basically sudden waves. And Spirit showed me today, because apparently I tried to look up what it all meant, because I had no clue. And apparently they're not sure what rogue waves, what causes them. But Spirit showed me it's a crack beneath the ocean surface. That and different earthquake activity beneath the ocean can cause these rogue waves. But the first one I saw was a crack beneath the ocean, which is probably, again, I would think that's still earthquake related. But I just got to tell you what the way Spirit gave it to me. Spirit warned that many changes are coming from our oceans and the flow of our oceans and great Spirit said great earth activity beneath the ocean surface. So, we see like earthquakes and different things and volcanoes happening on land. But Spirit said great changes are happening beneath the surface of the ocean. It's already starting. We just ain't seen the results of it yet. I have not seen the results of it yet. I can hear my mama yelling at my English. We're going to begin to soon witness this. And Spirit says that we will witness more odd, off the wall events happening in, around, and on our oceans. Spirit showed me a vision of flames, speaking of oceans, leaping out of the waters. It was like leaping, like almost like dancing out of the waters. It was really weird. It was a strange vision indeed. And it appears to be either near a coastline or on a coastline. So my first thought, of course, is some type of an oil spill that gets ignited. That's the first thought. Also, what came to mind is the Black Sea. The Black Sea popped into my mind. I wouldn't even doubt, because this is coming to me now, not in my notes, that they sabotage another pipeline, but when they do, they ignite it. And that part they weren't meaning to do. So something to keep an eye out for. Hold that whole area of the globe in the light. Because if you remember my past visions, that reminded me of Operation Desert Storm back in the 90s when Saddam Hussein set all the oil fields on fire. Remember that? Remember the visions I had last year of something similar happening? Maybe this is connected, maybe not. But the Black Sea did come to my mind. This is followed by thoughts of hot lava perhaps gushing out from the ocean's edge. I don't know if that would dance out of the waters. They were my two thoughts. Also could be lava gushing out from the ocean's edge, which means it's not coming from a volcano, it's coming out of the ground. That would be really, really interesting and quite creepy, actually. It's likely going to end up being both of these events separately coming into fruition. The lava and the oil. Our friends in Vegas. Yeah, viva Las Vegas. I want to warn our friends in Las Vegas for several reasons. I feel a huge blackout is coming to that area, and also a small earthquake. But hey, a small earthquake could affect that pretty bad. My dog's pacing the floor. She's driving me crazy. She must have to go out. I can't really put my finger on it completely, but what I had a vision and feeling of today was this dark, which is evil energy, suddenly like somebody opening up a gate to hell and all this dark energy flowing into Vegas. I mean, yeah, that's a better actual description. It's a much better description, actually, because I saw this wave of energy. Like, it was actually not even a wave. It's kind of like, when bats come flying out of a cave, by thousands and thousands of bats come out of a cave. That's exactly what my vision looked like. That's actually the best description. And I saw this cave opening and all these bats being the evil dark energy flowing in to Las Vegas. Hopefully the past. But a vision of dark energy is likely something of that magnitude, something huge. So let us hold Vegas in the light. I want to point out, in case I missed this last week, that Hawaii's Kilauea volcano began to erupt once again earlier this month. And of course, the beginning of a new year. Spirit showed me that this is a huge sign of great eruptions globally, but not just eruptions of volcanoes, but eruptions of world events, as Spirit has shown us that Hawaii is the center of the planet. So I expect Hawaiians will have their hands full this year with major weather events, earth events, including, other things that I probably predicted in my 2023 weather predictions. That's what it felt like to me. Thank you, Sherry Berry. I think that's Sherry Berry, for your chat cash. That was very kind and generous of you. Thank you. I'm very grateful. So where was I? Yeah, volcanoes or Hawaii. Key. Now we're to the end. I don't have a whole lot for you today, but enough. How long we've been here for? Yeah, 45 minutes. We're usually here over an hour. We'll probably still be here an hour. Well, we'll see. What about the whales that are washing ashore in Jersey? Yes, the poor whales. 4 of them so far. Kind of odd, right? I mean, whales and dolphins washing ashore isn't that odd, but 4 all in Jersey, New Jersey? Something really shady is going on there. And this goes back, makes me go back to the prediction of what I just said about the oceans. And if you go back again to 2023 weather prediction, remember Spirit warned us about the Gulf Stream, which is really interesting. Well, it makes me think of all those. It makes me feel that there are changes in the flow of the ocean waters that these four whales got caught up in. At the same time, if you remember, I said that when the whales wash ashore in Australia, it would be the sign of a coming disaster, which I think that happened last month. But it makes me think of that. So, Jersey, do we need to warn you of an incoming disaster? Perhaps an earthquake of your own? But again, Spirit makes me feel these whales washing ashore there have something to do with the ocean's flow and them getting caught up in something that they shouldn't have got caught up in. Very sad, actually. Let's talk about Elon Musk. We can't have a show without talking about him, right? Remember, I said that Elon Musk would experience a very stressful year, that it would take a toll on his health in 2023, especially from lawsuit woes and attacks on his companies. Well, Elon Musk happens to be getting sued now. And this is kind of silly. It's all due to a tweet that these lawyers and all are claiming affected stock prices that brought about this class action lawsuit that claims that they lost billions in Tesla stocks. The really interesting thing about this is if you look back at the tweet and everything that he said, he's the one that lost the most money. Like, he lost the most money. So, Musk himself lost the most money in the deal. So how could he be blamed for decisions that were made by other folks because they were less than smart and lost money? It's a casino. When you play those markets, you're gambling. Trial is in California, which is really interesting because Spirit made me feel that California is on the Elon Musk attack. Like, they just want to bring him down, California. I don't know why. They're all about electric cars, but they want to bring down the most genius electric car maker. Personally, did you see what state was it? Oh, I have it written here. Oh, what state was it that wants to? Wyoming. Wyoming Republicans propose a ban on electric cars. What they should ban is the cobalt fields and mines that they are enslaving people over in Africa, especially, and digging up this toxic mineral to put in the batteries of these cars. And they say this is better for the planet, better for the earth. It's all bad for the earth, all of it. People need to start riding their bicycles. That's the only way. And not your electric e-bike either, because that don't count. That's not riding a bike. That's an e-bike powering you up. But I thought that was interesting that Wyoming wants to propose a ban. And again, this is just the political separation of people, folks. This is all they want. Remember, left wing, right wing, same damn bird that wishes to split people apart and cause a division amongst humanity. A big division. That's what they want more than anything. Don't feed into it, my friends. Going back to California attacking Elon Musk. One of the things that happened in California, remember, is Elon Musk laid off thousands of California workers. So now they're trying to get this trial, this class action lawsuit moved out of California because, putting a jury in there of Californians who are probably mad and pissed off because he fired thousands of Californians. Took them off of work, laid them off, whatever you want to call it. So I got this feeling like maybe they're going to try to pull what Spirit called a Martha Stewart move on Elon Musk. A Martha Stewart move on Elon Musk. Remember about the whole what happened with Martha Stewart, which, she got lucky, really, because she went to prison and had a blast. It was like a vacation getaway for her. And it was just to prove a message that never really got proved, right? So Musk is going to make something out of Twitter, as I said in the past, and he's going to bring their stock share price value way up. So, I said that in the past, but Spirit again reminded me of that today. Did you all see that Elon Musk tweet, the Batman tweet with Batman standing at the top looking down? It was just kind of hysterical. I thought it was hysterical. It made me laugh. But more Twitter collusion, Spirit said today, is going to come. A lot more. It's only going to get better. Let's talk about the Middle East. Did you see that the Taliban just chopped off the hands of 4 guys? Yep. Are we heading into a repeat of history in the Obama era? Spirit says we are going to begin to see, and I don't know what it is, but a new form of terrorism and beheadings from the Middle East, Iraq, Iran, and Afghanistan mainly. But remember Spirit telling us that the fallen angels that fell along the Euphrates River are gathering together in a new army, a dark evil army. Remember that? Prediction and prophecy way back? Well, much of this is being orchestrated, shockingly, it might be shocking to others, not necessarily to all of us. It's being orchestrated from within the country Turkey. This will soon become a huge issue for Israel and eventually the entire world. Spirit also says that they are initiating their plans to usher in the Antichrist by 2030. So Antichrist is already here, but they're planning to usher him in, which means, again, you got to read all the prophecies, friends. You got to read the book of Revelation. You got to look at Nostradamus, Edgar Casey, and Spirit Man. You got to put them all together. It's a big puzzle. So a lot's got to happen before that. And it kind of sounds crazy that if they want to do this by 2030, there's a lot that needs to happen in prophecies before that occurs. So it'll be interesting. We are in interesting times. Going back to speaking of the Obama administration era, did you hear about that guy Damasi? I think I said his name right. Damasi guy who was an Iranian oil executive that has been held in Iran since the Obama administration. He went on this 7-day hunger strike recently and was, the only one left behind in the Obama days. Why everybody else was, they did an exchange and everything, but they left that guy behind for whatever reason. Who knows? But Spirit does tell me, and actually now we do know, Spirit says that he has many secrets. And if he begins to threaten exposing those secrets, he will instantly be taken out. At the same time, I had this feeling that the Iranians are going to do some kind of, try to paint a picture, try to send a message by putting him to death as a threat to America and Americans, like a live execution. So I don't know. Again, Spirit says a new form of terrorism. I don't know what that is or what that could be. We'll have to see. But I did see they're cutting off hands now. It'll be heads next. So as we know, Iran is collapsing from the inside out. And Spirit says this was all part of the plan of the evil, dark Illuminati, whoever, whatever the hell you want to call them. It's been an evil plan of theirs. They are, fulfilling their mission of bringing down Iran. But Spirit said this is actually going to become, Iran's going to become a base for the evil army, the army of darkness. And that Spirit says that it's already forming throughout the Middle East, which we've talked about at least a year or so ago. So speaking of that, let's talk about the United Kingdom and strikes and protests. Remember I had visions last year of major strikes and protests hitting globally as more and more people become fed up with government and everyday life. I'm sure United Kingdom people, the medical, all decided on a group walkout. Isn't that lovely? Isn't it lovely? Let's see. I thought I had a link for that. I guess I don't have a link for that. Oh wait, yes I do have a link for that. Let's go find that link, friends. I'm gonna find my notes here. There we go. Where are we at? What were we talking about? Nope, I got a lot more actually still. Oh, here is the article. Let's pull it up, baby. Pull it up. Slow computer. Oh, the New York Post. Yes, America's fakest news. Oh, let's see. UK nurses stage a new walkout as strike wave intensifies. And this was an article from today, actually. How about that? One of you sent me this information, so thank you for that. If you have stuff to send me, links, information, posts, comments, anything, please leave them in the comments below. Please do not email them to my office. Office, I like to keep this business email. Anything else, leave it in the comments. It'll have a better chance of being seen and looked at. So thousands of nurses in Britain walked out Wednesday. Oh, what happened? That's weird. Disappeared off my screen. Well, you get the point. They walked out. They walked out Wednesday on a new protest over pay, with no end in sight and a wave of strikes that has piled pressure on the UK's overburdened public health system. Two 12-hour nursing strikes on Wednesday and Thursday affect about a quarter of the hospitals in clinics in England. Emergency care and cancer treatment will continue, but thousands of appointments and procedures are likely to be postponed. Well, you know what? You're a business. The medical community is a business. They really don't care about you. They really don't care about your health. They care about how much money they can make. So if that's all you care about, then maybe you should pay your people more money because you're making billions of dollars a year while your people are struggling and barely paying their damn bills. It's wrong. It's wrong. And this is it. We're going to see more and more of this as time progresses. As I said in January predictions, and I want to say thumbs up to our medical people in United Kingdom. Thumbs up to you, two thumbs up to you for actually making a stance for what is actually right. You are an inspiration to the world, and this will help to ignite a 2023 trend, a trend of folks getting fed up and bringing about global walkouts and strikes. We will soon see this for big tech companies as well, just like we saw last year in December, I think it was, or November in China, when Apple workers who work for Apple take a bite out of Adam and Eve Apple. Workers in China walked out of Apple. That started all those big protests in China. So we saw that. Well, this is coming even more so. It's going to just keep igniting. So again, thank you folks in the medical system in the UK. Thumbs up to you for igniting this because somebody needed to get something ignited. It's only going to spread. They'll hide this story from, the news over here in the United States and Canada. They'll hide it. They don't want you to wake up and start demanding more wages as well. No, they don't want that. God forbid that they actually have to pay some of those billions of profits to their actual employees that make them those billions of profits. Let's talk about airlines, talking about billions in profits. We have been warned, remember, Spirit warned about the airlines having huge problems in the future. I said that about 6 months ago, not even, and it's happening. Downed flights, cancellations, and many incidents that are going to lead to accidents. Spirit warned over a month ago that, and we're already seeing this come into fruition in 2023, and we're not even 3 weeks into the year yet. Soon, airlines are going to face many lawsuits. Record amount of lawsuits, maybe class action suits, along with incidents, of course, from angry flyers, as I said on New Year's Day. We had 2 planes almost collide on the runway last week. And now just today or yesterday, we had 2 more planes that didn't come close to colliding, but actually did collide. And the one plane hit the other plane. They say the other plane was empty, but regardless, doesn't matter, it happened. So, to me, Spirit says the next one is going to be a terrible runway collision taking place that ignites emergency vehicles and fire engines I saw on a runway at an airport. Colorado kept popping in my mind, so I don't know when I'm channeling this information. This came to me today, actually. So I don't know if that's where this is happening, but it did come to me as I was channeling that information. So I would say, folks in Colorado, be on the alert because your pilots likely are not on the alert, and we need someone else to be on the alert. Speaking of airlines, Biden is pushing for another mask mandate on airlines again. Isn't that interesting? Which takes me over to the Biden papers. That's right, the Biden papers. To no surprise to any of us, they have found yet more classified documents in the careless places around the Biden's homes and estates. Spirit shows me that these already landed in the wrong hands. That was kind of very concerning. Spirit said that those confidential papers already landed, not all of them, but some of them in the wrong hands. And that baby Biden, little Hunter himself, is actually the irresponsible one who disclosed this information. And Spirit said he's a spy for both China and Iran. Little Hunter Biden, little spy. Yeah, talk about some collusion there. According to Spirit, there is so much more that they are not telling us, of course. Also, that some of these documents were actually purposely set into place as a setup to the Bidens or to Joe Biden from his own insiders. So his own little circle of people set those papers into place. Some of them, not all of them, but a few of them. The most recent ones, Spirit just said, the most recent ones. They are beginning to sabotage Joe Biden to cover their own tracks. And soon the leftist media is going to turn on Biden. Why? Because they're going to soon name their next presidential candidate. And they don't want Biden to be that because they already know like they can't. I'm not going to say it because I don't want to get banned, but they no, they have to find somebody else. Let's just put it that way. They have to find somebody else. And they already have their hands on people. So they're going to sabotage Biden so that he doesn't run again. But you know him, he's so like stuck on himself and his power trip that I think he'll still try. But he ain't gonna make it that far anyway. So how about China funding our universities? Did you hear about that? Yes, China funding our universities. Does that surprise you? You know, Nestle water, because most of the water, Poland Spring, Deer Park, Fuji, all those waters that you see at the store are all like 95% come from Nestle Waters. Nestle Waters is a Chinese company that comes over here and digs in our mountains without like and takes everybody's water and then sells it back to them. Yeah, if you haven't watched documentaries on Nestle Waters, you need to. Remember, water, Nostradamus said that water would become worth its weight in gold. That was Nostradamus that said that. Just saying. And we can see how that could be heading in that direction, right? So soon, Spirit said folks are going to find that China has been funding, buying, and controlling lots of the United States. And lots is going to come out about that. It's going to cause quite a bit of controversy in the United States. You know, I warned 2 years ago. Well, actually, 3 years ago now, right? 2020. Yeah, 2020, January 2020. I warned you all to stock up on stuff. That there were going to be major food shortages, that there was going to be major problems. Did you hear? You know, we don't have Kruger food grocery stores where I am. I mean, they might be in Arizona, but not nowhere near me. I've never seen a Kruger's before. And they have other stores too, owned by the same Kruger company. But Kruger is having major shortages and price hikes on eggs. I was shocked when I saw a picture. I thought the picture I took of eggs at the grocery store was bad. The picture I saw, $26.99 for a dozen eggs. $26.99. Regular eggs too, not even organic or anything. Organic eggs are a joke anyway. I mean, but shutdowns of grocery stores. Remember I said that a while ago, over a year ago. I saw they were going to start shutting down, and it started to happen. Walmart started shutting down stores and so forth. Well, Kruger's is another one that's starting to shut down stores. And to me, Spirit says this is all part of the plan of the United Nations and the WEF. You know, the Satanists. They want to keep you in your home. That's why you have all these new grocery delivery places now. They want you to order everything online, not only because they don't want you to leave your house and be in public, but they want to be able to monitor everything you're doing, everything you're eating, everything. It's all part of their plan. So that's why you're going to start seeing more and more of these grocery store shelves going empty and stores shutting down. You know, I warned of a new drug a while back. Now I can't, I have to find the name of it because I can't pronounce the name of it. I told you that there'd be a drug that would be like a zombie drug that would be highly addicting on the lines of the addiction of opiates. No, I can't. I thought I had it open. I do have it open. It's over here. I can't pronounce the name of it, so I gotta spell it out to you. Uh, Xylazine, Xylzine. It is a, of course, animal tranquilizer of some sort. Is now taking over and becoming the zombie drug, as they call it, hitting the streets of the United States. I thought that was really interesting. And my friends on Zoom were just telling me, and I didn't know about this, that Bank of America was just hacked. So they say. Now, do you remember my prediction where I said, or Spirit said to tell us that there would be big hacks of banks? Remember that. Big hacks of banks. But do you also remember, it was probably in my economy predictions from last year, the last one I did. Big hacks on banks, but they would lie about it. Remember, Spirit said they were going to hack their own bank. That's what it was. That's exactly what Spirit said. They're going to hack their own bank and make it look like a hack, but they're hacking their own bank. Well, Bank of America, first one to pull that one off. They're not the only bank that's been dealing with hacks. This is going to continue. Again, it's going to become this point of, we got to protect your money. We have to do digital currency. It's the only way to go, even though that's even more hackable. But anyway. And then lastly, there's been major sightings of UFOs in the state of Pennsylvania. I thought that was interesting. Our friends on Zoom said that too. And you could be a friend on Zoom too, but you got to go to the Awaken Your Spirit Subscribe Star platform. The links are down below. But yes, high amounts of UFO sightings within Pennsylvania. Parts of Pennsylvania, especially upstate near the Poconos and all, that's always been a hot spot. But apparently it's even hotter lately. Lots of sightings. And remember what Spirit told us, to keep an eye to the sky, that this year would be the highest record amount of UFO sightings ever in history. And it's already, we're seeing it 2 weeks in, just over 2 weeks into the year. And they're already putting articles out about large amounts of UFO sightings in Pennsylvania, like a record amount of reports. Kind of interesting, right, friends? Kind of really, really interesting. Now, my dog's pacing the floor, so that means it's about time for me to wrap this up. We've been together for 67 minutes. Perfect. I had more in my notes, but I didn't get through to it because it's just been, this week's been heavy. Oh, yeah, I got to tell you this. You heard about Greta Thunberg, you know, the Miss Save the World girl. Got caught faking her arrest. She got caught faking her arrest to do photo ops for social media to make it look like she's fighting for something that she's not, because she's paid by the United Nations. I thought that was just the story of the stories today. That one, and the CDC's investigating strokes when it comes to, you know, that thing. So it's about time they do something. I don't think they need to investigate. I think that they already do. Oh, and that's another thing I forgot to mention. Remember I said, I can talk, that Joe Biden would have major health issues coming up this year. Well, Joe Biden just had cancerous lesions removed from her chest and her eyelids. So yeah, that would make sense that she's heading into those health issues this year. So there were a couple of things that I wanted to mention that I didn't. Oh, yeah. Bill Gates wants to implement the RNA into chickens and livestock and cows and everything else. That's right. They want to start giving that little needle to your food, your meat, your chicken, your pork, your beef, all that. They want to get that in you one way or another. They want that devil stuff inside your body. So, you know, Bill Gates, man, somebody, that man needs to go. Like, he needs to go. And how about that JP Morgan executive, Stanley, with the Epstein ties? Saw all that controversy too. I thought that was really interesting. And here's another one. In Michigan, they have approved animal sacrifices. That's right. In the state of Michigan, they have approved animal sacrifices. We're going to continue to see this. Next thing you know, they're going to allow people to be pedos. If you know what I mean. That's going to become mainstream, like anything. You know, religious practices, whatever. Do your thing. I don't care. I'm my own business. But like, to bring this into the law, that they're allowed to do this, is almost like pushing people. Yeah, do this. Do sacrifices. You know, and it just animals, just like psychos that kill little animals when they're younger, become serial killers when they get older. So yeah, I tell you, sacrifice animals, because eventually it'll become a person or a baby. Sick people, folks. Sick people. You know, royalty over there in England's collapsing. You know, the whole royal family, it's collapsing. Spirit showed me that there will be a complete fall of royalty. Remember, Spirit singing that song, London Bridge is Falling Down, which was code for the Queen dying, which I said she would, and she did. But now Spirit shows me a whole collapsing of the royal family in general is happening. So that's kind of interesting. I thought that was really, really interesting. And there are the main topics. I will catch you next week with the other things that are on my list. So I have many other things to talk about, and I'm sure many other things are going to happen in the world by the time we get to Tuesday. But I'll be back on Monday. So again, be a part of this tribe. Smash that subscribe. Join me on Monday around 6 p.m. Mountain, 8 p.m. Eastern, as I talk about country-to-country predictions. Again, I can't thank you enough for all the love and support that you bring to me and for hanging out with me, because I love hanging out with you. Remember to be kind to others as you wish others be kind to you, because we all know that mean people suck. Spearman JT signing off for today. Until the next time, celebrate life, celebrate you, and